Anyway, pray for my man Travis Hunter. There's rumors that his current girl is pregnant, but
I didn't go. I just didn't respond to him. He wasn't my type.
Looks like Travis Hunter just stepped into the kind of nightmare no rookie ever wants to face. The NFL star uncovered a truth so raw, it shook not just his marriage, but his entire world. Fans had been warning him for months, and now the receipts prove it. His wife was never really in it for him, only for the money. With no prenup in place and drama stacking higher than the stadium lights, Travis could be staring down the kind of disaster that destroys careers and reputations overnight.
Are you excited about the wedding?
Yes, bro. Well, I'm just ready to go eat, then do my thing.
Everything flipped the moment his picture-perfect life cracked wide open. Hunter's carefully polished image with Leanna Lenny went up in flames after a brutal discovery left him reeling. It all started with one deleted Instagram post that read, "Life really ain't all it's cracked up to be." Those words sent shockwaves through the NFL, confirming the 22-year-old phenom had finally realized what fans were screaming all along. His dream girl was nothing more than a ticking time bomb. The bombshell came in the form of leaked DM photos, allegedly showing Lenny in bed with another Jacksonville Jaguar teammate. That betrayal wasn't just about love, it was a backstab that cut through team trust, loyalty, and the sacred brotherhood of pro sports. Sources say Travis didn't waste a second. He confronted her with the evidence in hand, sparking a fiery showdown that ended with him storming out, bags packed, checking straight into a hotel room, and the timing, beyond brutal. Just months after their fairy tale May 24th, 2025 wedding in Athens, Tennessee, where Travis had handed his bride the keys to a $300,000 custom Mercedes-Benz AMG 63 Brabus 800 factorial. That dream flipped into a nightmare overnight, leaving Hunter humiliated and broken.
look. This is Gen Z, man. Generation Zest. This is crazy. The craziest thing is, these zesty now, they're the that's most down to crash out. They're the most gangster. And supposedly they're getting the most. The world is backwards. I can't even try to comprehend. I'm gonna just go over here, I carve my own lane, and I'm gonna just let niggas chill. Anyway, congratulations to my boy Travis Hunter and his wife.
The irony hit hard. Hunter, known for playing both offense and defense like no other, stood completely defenseless against the one person he thought would ride for him forever. DJ Academic's words now ring like prophecy as Travis's world unravels in ways that even his harshest haters couldn't have seen coming. The warning signs were plastered all over social media for months, but love had him blinded, unable to see the truth that now feels impossible to ignore. The red flags were waving from day one, but Travis Hunter chose to look the other way. From the jump, Lene wasn't showing genuine interest. She ignored Hunter's Instagram DMs for months, only circling back when her brother clued her in that the guy blowing up her inbox was a rising football star. That calculated move should have been the first clue this wasn't love, it was strategy. But the cracks widened when Lene slipped up in her own defense. In an 8-minute TikTok rant meant to save her image, she ended up doing the opposite. She exposed the cold, transactional side of their relationship while at the same time putting Hunter's past infidelity on blast for millions to see. Then came the Heisman Trophy ceremony on December 14th, 2024, one of the biggest nights of Hunter's young career. Cameras caught Lene sitting stone-faced, refusing to clap or even fake excitement until Coach Deion Sanders nudged her to stand. That viral moment painted a brutal picture of a woman completely detached from her man's biggest triumph. The situation got uglier when leaked content hit the internet that same December. Old clips and photos began to surface, allegedly showing Lene in compromising situations with other men while still with Hunter. One damaging video showed her twerking on another guy at a party, while another Snapchat-style clip allegedly caught her lying in bed with someone else whispering "good morning" into the camera. And Hunter's response? Painful to watch. On a Twitch live stream the very next day, December 15th, 2024, he broke down defending Lena, telling fans she had been crying herself to sleep and drinking heavily from the online backlash. His emotional plea only convinced critics even more that he was being manipulated, trapped in a relationship that was draining him dry while the world watched in real time. The money side of this scandal is jaw-dropping. Without a prenup, Travis Hunter's entire fortune is on the chopping block. His $46.65 million rookie contract, stacked with a $30.6 million signing bonus, could now be split in divorce court like it's nothing. It's gotten so wild that celebrity divorce attorney James Sexton even jumped in, offering free prenups to the entire 2025 NFL draft class, pointing directly at Hunter's case as a cautionary tale for every young baller stepping into the league. And Hunter's generosity, it went far beyond that flashy wedding and the $300,000 Brabus Benz. Reports show he poured over $4.5 million into gifts for Leanna. We're talking about a $100,000 diamond engagement ring, multiple luxury cars worth over $600,000, and a $3.27 million mansion in Jacksonville's exclusive Deerwood Country Club. Now, every single gift is a bitter reminder of how badly he misplaced his trust. And Hunter's cryptic post disappeared from Instagram, social media exploded. Fans flooded the comments, screaming things like, "We tried to warn you, young king," and "Sometimes you gotta learn the hard way." The vibe was the same everywhere. People weren't celebrating, but they felt vindicated. Hunter had missed the warning signs, and now the bill had come due. And if the money and cheating weren't enough, the rumor that one of his own teammates might be involved in the betrayal turned this story into pure chaos. In professional sports, locker room chemistry is everything, and the thought of a teammate sneaking behind his back, that's the kind of humiliation that cuts deeper than any loss on the field.
Same test, too.
A eater! Ain't no way.
3 years ago, they've been together for 5 years. That's that same tat. Yeah, my boy in that is putting her to work.
Ain't no way.
Insiders say Jaguars management is terrified about how this mess might impact Hunter's focus and the team environment, especially since he plays the rare role of both offense and defense. As the smoke cleared, the bigger picture came into focus. How did such a talented young star end up trapped in this nightmare, financially, emotionally, and professionally? The answers seem to point to something chilling. Calculated manipulation. What once looked like random scandals and bad luck now started forming a disturbing pattern. Leanna's entire approach looked like a master plan. Her background only fueled the suspicion. She knocked out a bachelor's degree in English education at Kennesaw State in just 2 years. Proof she's sharp and strategic. Critics say she weaponized that intelligence, twisting narratives, flipping public perception, and playing the long game to lock in her financial future. The timeline of Travis Hunter's relationship with Leanna looks less like love and more like a carefully laid trap, every step lined up perfectly with his rise in fame and fortune. They went public in February 2022, right as Hunter's draft buzz was heating up. By February 2024, just after he snagged the Heisman Trophy, she had him locked in with an engagement. And the wedding, scheduled for May 2025, conveniently right after his NFL draft selection and just before that massive contract was signed. Each major milestone in Hunter's career seemed to trigger a new financial obligation from him to her. The playbook was clear. Phase 1, the friendship stage where she could test his potential. Phase 2, official relationship, securing the emotional hook. Phase 3, engagement at the height of his college glory. Phase 4, marriage before lawyers or reality could crash the party. But her strategy didn't stop at private moves. It extended to her entire public persona. Leanna transformed from a quiet student into a polished influencer, racking up 448,000 TikTok followers and 223,000 Instagram followers right as Hunter's name blew up. Their YouTube channel, Travis and Leanna, launched in May 2022, was marketed as a joint brand. Yet insiders say she contributed little more than her presence while benefiting from Hunter's shine. The most ruthless part of her game, how she weaponized Hunter's love against him.
What y'all don't know, again, off of a 7-second clip, is those weren't fans, by the way. He had already finished that part. He had finished meeting with the fans. I was there the entire time taking pictures. talking to them, everything. The girls that were there, they worked for Adidas.
At public events, she often stirred up drama, forcing him to defend her. At one Adidas appearance, she allegedly snapped while he posed for fans, saying, "What am I supposed to do? Just sit here?" That wasn't just frustration. It looked like calculated pressure, pushing Hunter to choose between his professional image and keeping her happy. Even her own explanations revealed a cold level of strategy. Whenever her behavior sparked backlash, she had detailed justifications ready, perfectly framed to create plausible deniability. Critics argue this wasn't clumsy immaturity, it was the long game of someone who knew exactly how to control the narrative and keep Hunter tied up in her web. Even as Leanna kept riding the wave of Hunter's success, the leaked videos and photos from their early days told a completely different story than the fairy tale she pushed online. The timing was no accident. Those clips always seemed to drop right when Hunter was reaching a new milestone, almost like someone had been sitting on them, waiting for the perfect moment to drop the bomb for maximum damage. One man even admitted he held onto compromising images of Leanna until Hunter blew up, proof that multiple people saw the young star as a payday waiting to happen. To them, Travis wasn't just an athlete, he was a walking profit machine, and they positioned themselves to cash in when the spotlight was brightest. Social media wasn't fooled either. Fans had been clocking the same pattern for months. Her lack of genuine pride in his achievements, her obsession with material perks, and the way she always managed to be front and center during his biggest moments. On Twitter, the breakdown was brutal. NFL fan 4Life wrote, "She only lights up when there's gifts, never for his actual wins." Sports analyst 247 posted, "Look at her face during every celebration, calculated, not celebrated." And user TrueSpeaker88 summed it up best, "She's been playing chess while he's been playing checkers." But the most shocking part of all, the financial manipulation, the way she racked up millions in gifts without ever putting anything of her own on the line, was cold-blooded. Over $4.5 million in rings, cars, and luxury perks, none of it looked like love. It was a systematic transfer of wealth from a hardworking young star to someone who positioned herself perfectly to take it piece by piece until there was almost nothing left but regret. The sports world wasn't about to stay quiet, and soon professional athletes and analysts began weighing in on the chaos. Former NFL star Des Bryant was one of the first to step up, urging Hunter to cut ties immediately. Other athletes echoed the warning, sharing their own horror stories of losing millions to relationships without prenups. The message was clear, Hunter wasn't just unlucky, he was being systematically exploited. Celebrities chimed in too, adding even more heat to the fire. Rappers Cameron and Maze broke it down on their podcast, stressing that a prenup is non-negotiable unless the spouse is the bigger earner. Wow went even further, flat out calling Leanna a gold digger, while others blasted out warnings about the financial cliff Hunter was walking toward. Then came the July 2025 crying video from Leanna, which took the scandal to another level. The footage showed her sobbing uncontrollably, talking about spiritual growth and personal struggles, but critics weren't fooled. It looked like a carefully timed move to flip the narrative, crafted to gain sympathy while dodging valid criticism. Framing it in religion, she made it nearly impossible for people to attack without seeming heartless. The emotional display hit Hunter's weak spot, playing on his protective instincts, and the strategy worked, especially when WNBA star Angel Reese publicly commented, "The storm doesn't last forever," offering support that instantly boosted Leanna's credibility. That showed just how far she'd gone in building connections with other high-profile names, ready to call in backup whenever the spotlight turned ugly. But the alleged affair with a teammate, that was the ultimate betrayal. If true, it wasn't just reckless, it showed Leanna believed her grip on Hunter was so strong that she could cross the deadliest line in sports, sleeping with one of his own brothers in arms, and still walk away untouched. That kind of audacity revealed a manipulative confidence that left even seasoned insiders stunned. Financial experts added more fuel, pointing out that Leanna's entire lifestyle, from designer fits to luxury trips, was bankrolled by Hunter's earnings. Despite her public claims of being independent, no one could trace any real net worth of her own. The wealth she flaunted wasn't hers, it was a reflection of Hunter's generosity turned against him in the most ruthless way possible. By now, the picture was crystal clear. Leanna hadn't just stumbled into Travis Hunter's life, she had mapped it out like a business plan. From the moment she locked eyes on a rising star, every move seemed designed to secure her position as the ultimate beneficiary of his success. Relationship milestones, perfectly timed with his career highs, financial commitments always stacked in her favor while she kept her risks at zero. But the fallout wasn't just about money, it started shaking the very foundation of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Inside the locker room, whispers turned into concern, and at the center of it all was quarterback Trevor Lawrence. The organization had spent months building chemistry between Lawrence and Hunter, seeing their connection as one of the NFL's most explosive offensive weapons. Now, that progress was suddenly at risk. Lawrence's support for Hunter had been loud from the very start. When the rookie arrived, the veteran quarterback couldn't hide his excitement. Travis has been great, just his work ethic, how he's come in. He's been one of the hardest working guys we have. Lawrence told reporters during training camp. He went even further, calling Hunter the best conditioned athlete he'd ever seen. He can run all day up and down the field. I haven't seen him get tired one time. That kind of praise showed the bond they were building and made the scandal even harder to stomach. For Lawrence, this wasn't just about football. He had invested real time and trust into Hunter, only to watch the rookie's world spiral into chaos right when the team needed him most. During a July 2025 appearance on the Pardon My Take podcast, Lawrence even shared how close their bond had grown, joking that he was selfish about Hunter's role. He admitted he preferred having Travis on offense, telling him straight up to stick there more often. It was lighthearted banter, but it also showed the faith he had in Hunter's ability to be a game changer. Now, with the scandal dragging Hunter's focus away from the field, that trust and the Jaguars' big offensive plans hung in the balance, threatening to collapse under the weight of betrayal and drama.
Selfishly, yeah, I definitely want him on offense more. I told him, it's like, do you want to come catch touchdowns, or you want to maybe break up a pass or two a game? Like, that's the decision you got to make.
That playful comment from Trevor Lawrence, once a lighthearted moment, suddenly carried a heavier weight as Hunter's decision-making now looked clouded by the chaos in his personal life. The bond between the two had been steadily growing through organized team activities and training camp. Lawrence had even praised Hunter's ability to juggle both offensive and defensive playbooks, calling it a tough challenge, but giving him credit for handling it like a pro. On the field, their chemistry was undeniable. Hunter ran crisp routes, showed off his football IQ, and reminded everyone why he was a generational talent at Colorado. But once August hit and the revelations about his marriage exploded, cracks began to show. Sources inside the Jaguars camp whispered that Hunter's focus slipped. He looked distracted during practice, drifting in and out of the intensity that usually defined him. For Lawrence, who was already under pressure to bounce back from an injury-shortened 2024 season, this was a nightmare. He needed stability, reliable weapons, and a clear path to redemption. Instead, his most dangerous playmaker was unraveling off the field, and it was starting to bleed onto the turf.
It's 4th and 7. You break the huddle, it's one-on-one, and Travis Hunter, the wide receiver, sees Travis Hunter, the corner, across from her, and the ball's coming your way. Which one of y'all comes down with it?
Travis Hunter.
Then came the rumor no team wants to hear, whispers that an unnamed Jaguars teammate might have been tied to Hunter's personal drama. No names were confirmed, but the damage was done. The idea alone was enough to stir suspicion in the locker room, turning teammates into potential suspects and corroding trust from the inside out. That left Lawrence, the face of the franchise, in a brutal spot. He had to hold the team together while standing by a teammate whose private life was crumbling in public. Analysts quickly jumped on the story, questioning whether Hunter could survive the grind of his historic two-way role under such immense pressure. One ESPN voice put it plainly: the weight of carrying both offense and defense is already historic, but add betrayal, scandal, and media firestorms, it could break even the strongest athlete alive. Playing 30 snaps on defense and 40 on offense, that's college ball. This is the NFL. Nobody's ever done it, and if he tries, it could shorten his career. That analyst warning now hit harder than ever as Travis Hunter's mental state became the real concern. Coach Liam Cohen and the Jaguars had invested everything in Hunter's two-way abilities, even trading up from the 5th to the 2nd overall pick just to lock him in. He was supposed to be the future of both their offense and defense, but now personal drama was threatening to swallow that investment whole. It felt like two different Hunters existed: the confident rookie who once bragged he could beat himself in one-on-one coverage, and the distracted young man now battling demons off the field. That swagger had vanished, replaced by tension and doubt. Trevor Lawrence, who knew firsthand how injuries and pressure could shake an athlete, was torn. He sympathized with Hunter but worried about what this meant for the team's future. His once bright outlook had shifted. By August, his optimism had turned into quiet concern, reflecting a locker room no longer certain their rising star could carry the weight placed on him. Trevor Lawrence had once spoken with confidence about the Jaguars' playoff chances, crediting Hunter as a major piece of the puzzle, but now that optimism was fading fast. The question hanging over the team wasn't about talent, it was whether Hunter could keep his head in the game while drowning in personal chaos. Behind the scenes, other teammates began voicing their concerns too. Most kept quiet publicly, not wanting to feed the media circus, but the whispers were real. Veteran players who had seen careers destroyed by off-field drama knew the danger Hunter was facing. They weren't just worried about his game, they were worried about his future as a man. The money talk made it worse. Word spread quickly that Hunter had no prenup, and vets who had learned the hard way about protecting assets were stunned. Several even tried pulling him aside, offering advice to guard his financial future, but his emotional tie to Leanna kept him from listening. To them, it looked like he was walking straight into a trap. Lawrence stayed loyal in public, but even his words shifted. Early on, he hyped up Hunter's potential and their chemistry. As the storm grew, his comments became more cautious, focused on Hunter needing to block out distractions and lock back in on football. That was a major red flag. Things hit rock bottom in preseason against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Across 18 snaps, Hunter managed just 2 catches for 9 yards, and then came the play everyone saw. A missed tackle turned into a viral moment when Steelers running back Caleb Johnson stiff-armed Hunter straight into the turf. The clip spread instantly, feeding into the narrative that his off-field life was wrecking his performance. Inside team meetings, coaches tried to keep the focus on football, but the elephant in the room was impossible to ignore. The Jaguars now faced a brutal balancing act, supporting their young star while making sure his personal disaster didn't drag down the entire franchise. Travis Hunter's two-way role was supposed to be historic, but that same uniqueness made his downfall twice as devastating. His struggles didn't just hit one side of the ball, they rippled through both offense and defense, shaking the Jaguars' entire preparation. Trevor Lawrence suddenly found himself juggling 2 impossible tasks, supporting his young teammate while trying to hold the locker room together under mounting pressure. Lawrence's experience with media heat and public expectations gave him the tools to offer guidance. But Hunter's situation wasn't the usual rookie growing pains. This was bigger: marriage betrayal, financial vulnerability, and the whispers of a teammate crossing the line. It wasn't just drama, it was a perfect storm threatening to swallow an entire career before it ever truly began. The real question now, could Hunter lock in, compartmentalize, and deliver on the field, or was this nightmare discovery about his wife going to derail one of the most promising NFL journeys in recent memory? Jaguars coaches and executives had invested millions hoping to see Hunter redefine what was possible in professional football. Instead, they now watch nervously, praying their superstar in the making wouldn't throw it all away over a scandal spiraling far beyond his control. The fans see it, the analysts see it, and the streets see it too. Travis Hunter is standing on the edge of glory or disaster, and the next move he makes could decide everything. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment to let us know what you think about this wild situation, and I'll catch you in the next one.